Hey everybody, I know a lot of people have been asking me to make a video outlining how to defend the COBRA strategy, so here it finally is, and to test it out I'll be playing a couple private battles with Expert HD, whose channel you can find in the description below. Before I start, let me just point out these games were played on normal battle arena instead of the usual bonanza that I made a few videos on how strong it was on there. The reason for this is because private club arenas are constantly shifting in and out of the rotation, and at any given time there are only one or two active, making it quite rare to see only bonanza featured, as with the addition of combo arenas there are like 15 different arenas to choose from. So yeah, on the other hand normal battle arena is always available, so it's a lot more practical to make a defend video on. And even though the COBRA adjustment strategy isn't as great on normal games as it is on bonanza, it's still a pain to deal with, especially if you don't bring the right towers. So let us start off with the first viable strategy, Glaive Lords. Made possible ever since the massive cost buff to them, I believe they got a whole $4,000 shaved off that upgrade, bringing boomerangs right back up there with dart monkeys and other top-tier towers. They still aren't the strongest late-game tower though, but that shouldn't be much of concern against a COBRA user, who's normally looking to avoid the late game. Paired with sub-reactors they would make for an easy COBRA adjustment defense I guess. Generally you should only need one of these towers though. This is just Expert's way of defending for this first test game on Battle River, so I had no control over what he was building. It seemed to work pretty decently for the most part, other than the fact that he isn't building very many farms, so he might not hold up for very long if I decide to go for an all-out rush against him, which you'll see very soon. Also, 2 Glaive Lords and a reactor seems to be barely enough to hold off all those Camgro ceramics. Get the third one up though and I rate the defense 5 out of 7. It's quite expensive to get up 3 Glaive Lords by round 20 though, well over 12,000 total, which might explain why Expert had so little farms up in the first place, so in an actual game setting the strategy may not be the best. Cue to next strategy we will test then, with a loadout of dart monkeys, monkey aces and ninjas on the swamp map. While we wait for the balloon adjustment to kick in at round 15 or so, let's talk about some other stuff real quick. Firstly, channel art. I finally stopped being lazy and put up a new one, so let me know what you guys think. It's actually been up for quite a while now, but I know not many people pay attention to it seeing as it isn't visible unless you visit my actual channel page. I just made it nice and simple, because I'm no Photoshop wizard or anything. So I just used the good old channel name with a couple of cute monkeys plastered onto it. Alright, I suppose now I can go back to talking strategy. This one involves sending income instead of farms, so it may not work as well for you against really good players because I got a much higher income than normal in the first 10 rounds since Expert didn't rush me with anything, 550 to be approximate. Which is a really solid amount for a map like this which is known for its really short rounds due to anti-stalling. Anti-stalling, some of you may be wondering what that means. Basically, in BTD battles the next round starts a few seconds after one player pops all the computer balloons on their side, so say you place a bunch of towers at the front of the track, then that would make the rounds go by really fast because the AI balloons will all be popped right as they enter the track. And on Swamp, anti-stalling is practically a given seeing as the beginning of the track starts smack dab in the middle. Anyways, for this strategy, you'll want 3 juggernauts or so depending on the map, then work your way towards the ultimate balloon killer, the Operation Dartstorm. And if you need to sell towers for it, then do just that, because I cannot stress how good this tower is if it's given the right positioning. Then I've got the ninja for in case the enemy COBRA user is fed up that I'm not dying to his silly little tactics and goes for the final desperation rush. So yeah, in my opinion this is a much better tactic than using boomerangs, at least for maps where the ace is viable. On to the last game I'll show. This time I swap out the ninja for a farm to be a little more realistic. By that I mean, when you queue up for normal arena match you have no idea what towers your opponent is going to pick, unless you're a dirty spire. So in cases like these you have to use the strategy that will work against whatever they choose, whether it's a farm strategy or a COBRA strategy. And having watched a bit of Mobile King of the Hill and high-level gameplay myself, I see the farm is still a superior option to income despite all the nerfs it's had. Hence why I'm doing a similar strategy to last game, but this time on a different map, Yellow Brick, which is another really good map for the Monkey Ace. This begs the question, what to do for maps where aces are garbage, like Interchange or Temple. Technically a Temple isn't that bad a map for aces. I couldn't think of anything else, which goes to show you a majority of the maps are plain friendly. But to answer the question, I don't know honestly, maybe just spam more juggernauts. Perhaps I'll make another video of it in the future for when such a scenario comes up. I must say again, I have more farms than I should at this point in the game, because Expert hasn't been sending much. He did send a few group Bloons on round 7 earlier, though, so it's a bit of a start. The rest should be similar to game 2, so I'm going to grab a timeout right about now and end it off here. Likes are highly appreciated. I hope you're all currently enjoying your winter break just as much as I am, and I'm absolutely hating it. JK. Thanks for watching everyone, and have a wonderful day.